Night against Dallas. Karl-Anthony Towns, 26, 12, and 11, a triple-double, his first as a Knick. Josh Hart, a triple-double, 16, 12, and 11 for him, his 9th of the year. That's a new Knicks single-season record. And for the first time ever, the Knicks have 2 players in the same game with a triple-double as they beat Dallas 128 to 113. Great to have you with us. Bill Pito along with Wally Szczerbiak. Interesting game. 68 apiece after the half, and then the Knicks dominate the second half, outscoring Dallas by 15. What was the difference between half one and half two?
Defense in the second half. Remember, in the first half, sometimes you have to be protective of your fouls. You don't want to get in foul trouble, and then you can really ratchet your defense up in the third quarter and the fourth quarter. But what about the offense? I mean, these guys love playing with each other. You can tell the way they share the basketball, 40 assists, balls moving all over the place. Getting the ball to Karl-Anthony Towns, they had no matchup to guard him, and that was kind of the key. Once you got him going, that broke down the defense. Everyone shot the ball at a high level, and I love when OG Anunoby looks to shoot and be aggressive and shoot himself into rhythm. He becomes unstoppable. 35 points, but what I like even more is the attempts. 24 attempts, made 15 shots, very efficient. He's got such a gifted basketball talented game that he should try to be more aggressive at times. It was just unbelievable the way he played tonight.
9 of Anunoby's last 12 games, he's had at least 20 points. You mentioned the assists, the Knicks with 40. That's tied for the second most they've had in a game this season. And really the key quarter was the third quarter. 68 all, as we talked about at the half. Knicks won the third quarter 30-16, and that was basically the game.
Yeah, they really shut the defense down, and that was exactly what they needed to do. And when they get stops, this team, they're so efficient on the offensive end of the floor that it just was like the floodgates opened. And that's exactly what the Knicks needed to do against this undermanned Mavs team. Just hit the Mavs quickly in transition, get those stops, look to push, demoralize the Mavericks, who were playing really awkward, different lineups, and also coming off a back-to-back. That's the other thing. Off a back-to-back, sometimes teams can muster up energy in the first half, but come that third quarter and second half, that's when the home team and the more rested team can just take over the game. Look at Anunoby playing the passing lanes, first team All-NBA, book it, lock it up. This guy's been outstanding defensively, and then no answer for him defensively either. Towns, Anunoby could do whatever they wanted. How about Josh Hart? Triple-double Josh Hart. Hats off to Josh Hart. Congratulations to Josh Hart. 9th triple-double of the season, breaks Walt Frazier's long-standing record. Just an outstanding season that he had. Everyone contributed. Cameron Payne was solid at the point. Kolek, too. I love those 40 assists, Bill.
Right about that. How about points in the paint? Second chance points dominated by the Knicks. You talked about Anunoby being more aggressive. 24 field goal attempts for him season high.
That's great. And they were all good shots, too. That's the thing. That's how good he is. You know, he just plays within in the offense. The ball's moving, and when he gets it, he can soften up the defense because they have to respect his three-point shot. And he's really been looking to put the ball on the floor and change directions, change angles, make defenders guard him because he's really athletic and he's an outstanding finisher. He's an elite finisher at the rim. So he's really expanded his game with Jalen Brunson not being able to play the last couple games.
Knicks rolling, even though Najee Marshall had 28 first half points and finished with a career high 38. Dallas missing all these players, but Najee Marshall was great. Also a headline, 2 triple-doubles.
Awesome.
By the Knicks, 4 Knicks in the same game, first time it's ever happened. Karl-Anthony Towns, as we talked about, and also Josh Hart.
I'll tell you, Tom Thibodeau has become an elite offensive coach. The way he's taught these guys to buy in and move the ball, starting with Josh Hart. We all know that when Jalen Brunson's out, Josh Hart handles the ball a lot. He becomes the point forward, initiates the offense, along with Cameron Payne tonight and also Tyler Kolek. But when you have multiple guys that can pass and make plays, and then the Knicks, you know, in the offseason, they went out and got finishers too. They went out and got Towns, Bridges, and obviously Anunoby, elite finishers. So it's going to lead to a boatload of assists, and that's what happened tonight. I just love when Josh Hart shoots that rock at a high percentage. 6 for 9, 2 for 2 from 3. He's got to just continue to show confidence in that three-point shot and that pull-up jumper. Obviously, when he's involved in the offense, when he's making plays with his passes, he's always rebounding. That shot's going to fall even more, but he's going to have to knock down those shots when teams dare him to shoot, because some of the top teams that the Knicks are going to see in the playoffs are going to dare him to knock down those shots.
All right, I want to remind everyone, if you're looking for the Rangers tonight, they're at the Kings. Pre-game coverage is underway on MSGSN as the Rangers begin a trip out west. All right, so that's one triple-double, Josh Hart. The thing about Karl-Anthony Towns, how about his passing, Walt?
Yeah.
Has his passing been the most surprising thing to you? He's a phenomenal passer.
Well, I always knew it. I mean, this guy's a Hall of Famer in the making, multiple-time All-Star, and he's a no-weakness player. And he showed it, And the other thing is the way he's assimilated so quickly into this team and this locker room. He's just a fun guy. He's got a great personality. He's easy to get along with, and he's really good. Like, that's why the Knicks went out and got him, and they gave up a lot to get him, but he's well worth it because of this skill set that he has. And, he loves playing for Tom Thibodeau second time around with Thibs, and that's just pretty impressive to have two guys do it in the same game. Unbelievable production.
Each with 12 rebounds and each with 11 assists. Monica McNutt helped call the game on the radio on ESPN New York. Monica, great to see you, man. Feel good. Feel good win all the way around, huh?
Yeah, it was. Yes, ultimately, the results you're a fan of. I think at halftime you're like, okay, so we're going to play any defense in this one? But to start the third quarter, I thought the Knicks did a good job of addressing the areas that needed to be addressed. I think it was the third play that OG Anunoby got the steal in the run out. Ultimately, they finished the game, I believe, with 27 fast break points, and that was just one of them. That was a byproduct of the defense showing out. Give some credit to Cameron Payne as well, though. We were going through the scores over the course of the ballgame, and you look and you see all four of your starters in double figures. Cameron Payne was sitting on 2 for a while there, but I thought he played big defensively, meeting guys at the rim and terrific rotation. Obviously, the 2 charges that he took, just the energy that he brings on the floor tonight. So a solid win for this team.
Monica, obviously it's not good that the captain's been out for so long and he's getting that ankle right. But what positives do you think are coming out of this stretch with Jalen Brunson being out of the lineup for this team?
I think the first one you look at is the way that OG Anunoby has played, Wally. And I am curious about what can carry over, right? Jalen Brunson is one of the better ISO players in the league. He plays great in the pick and roll, obviously. But the way that the Knicks have had to play with a little more pace in the half court, I do think some of that can translate when JB returns. But I think that is a byproduct of why OG Anunoby has been able to find such success in this streak. Although I will also add, I think for him, he's leveled up his commitment on the defensive side of the basketball over this stretch as well. And I think the two are working in tandem. Beyond that, I think you're looking at the minutes for some of the guys off the bench. While Cameron Payne is not a huge scorer, I thought he's done a solid job stepping up in that position. I think the last couple of games, the looks that you've gotten at Tyler Kolek, they give you a little bit of confidence as we head down toward the end of the regular season and officially.
Indeed, Monica, about Kolek, 8 assists against Washington and beats that for new career high with 9 assists tonight. The Knicks, by the way, about Brunson now, they're 5-4. Clippers in town tomorrow night. Monica, Knicks lost at Los Angeles during that road trip. Clippers playing excellent basketball. Harden has been elite, and Kawhi Leonard is healthy.
That is a very familiar foe. Obviously, the first game that the Knicks had to play when Brunson went down. I will say this, and Tyler and I were talking about this a little bit in our postgame show on the radio with Pat O'Keefe. I don't know that you can start as sluggish defensively against those guys. There's obviously a different urgency for the Clippers as compared to the Mavs. They are very much jockeying for position in the postseason and see themselves as a very live and viable threat. And so the Knicks defense is going to have to start the basketball game just like the offense did tonight. So hopefully the second half of this one looks more like the first half tomorrow.
All right, Monica, thanks as always. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Sounds good.